for other studio. Good morning once again, everyone. I'm so happy and so thrilled to see you all. This is 100th episode of My Top Tips. I will take less time, but quickly, as it's 100th, so journey started about 100 weeks ago, little more than because there would be some gaps in between. For example, last 2 weeks I couldn't have it. Free format, I just speak out. My experiences, my expectations also many times. This is what I would expect. The topic will be resilience overall, but BCM, risk, crisis, sometimes information security also. I know a little bit information security. Resilience, operational resilience, organizational resilience, sustainability, environment, or anything that may be of concern to the society. That's what I cover. So journey has been exciting, but I'll take less time. As I said, the target has been to keep the show within 15 minutes today because I've invited you all experts, everyone taking 3-4 minutes or so. We may go up to 30 minutes and still the objective is to close within 30 minutes. Thank you very much, Puneet. So, keeping it once again flexible, your perspective on or off resilience. If you would like to start with a little bit about the episode, top tips, and then take full time on your perspective of or on resilience. Who would like to go first? Who would like to open the innings?
Okay, so I can go first.
Yes, please.
Yes, so Sanjiv Agarwala here. Warm greetings to everyone here who is in the panel and also who is attending this session. Firstly, congrats, Daman,
Thank
on
you
this
very much.
resilient journey of 100 episodes. So that itself is a topic in itself. Like you have done a journey of 100 episodes. So that also is a topic very aligned to this thing. And my
Thank you very
quick tips,
much.
if I have 2 to 3 minutes, I think resilience in layman term for me is the ability to absorb the shock. Like you are suddenly, you were not anticipating something, and then you are faced with a sudden shock or a challenge, and now you have to quickly adapt to that disruptive event scenario. And the other beauty is that that disruption may not be very short lived. You may be faced with multiple of shocks and disruption at the same time. So now you are really tested whether you have that positive mindset and outlook, and whether you can continue and actually hold on to your ground and still survive, go on a positive momentum. So from my perspective, it is external facing viewpoint, because there are dependencies on you. People are looking up to you, and if you are not resilient, there is a domino effect. Since you are linked to others, if you fall, others will fall like a pack of cards. And my perspective is, how I look in a very layman term is, I should be able to leverage my strengths, encash the opportunities provided to me, manage the weaknesses, and then I have to continuously scan my threat environment. And if I do this thing, all this SWOT analysis, and from a resilience perspective very well, on a continuous basis, not one time, once a year kind of thing, but like on a continuous basis, I'm on a lookout that something can really shake me off the ground, then I am well covered. So that is my quick 2 minutes perspective on resilience. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Thanks a lot, Sanjeev. And then with risk and resilience, there is a statement that goes along hand in hand. Converting risks to opportunities or resilience to opportunity. I keep saying, little change in the old statement that opportunities do not come knocking at your door. You have to create opportunities, and then only you will be able to grab and then benefit from those. Thank you very much, Sanjeev. Again, I'm not taking calling names. Please go ahead. Who would like to speak
So, Daman,
next?
let me start, right?
Yes,
And
please. Thanks, Sanjay.
uh, Thank you, Daman, for the wonderful work that you're doing, and congratulations on your 100th episode. And thank you for inviting me as well, kind of stuff. So, I had something else in mind, but I heard Sanjiv, so I wanted to build on to what he said. So my perspective on he used the word shock, right? And I use a shock absorber
All
more so
right.
from that perspective. So my perspective is a spring, right? Spring plus the triangle of BCP is resiliency. And I'll explain that a little bit, kind of stuff. So spring is your tenacity, right? Of ability to take the shock during a normal running operations, right?
Right.
uh, you wouldn't put a shocker of a nano in a BMW, for example, right? Because it will break. The car will not run, right? So you need to find the right solution for a right perspective with the right uh, longevity, right? If I can use that word. And building on to that, I can expand that a lot, but due to limitation of time, I'll leave it at that. The second perspective is the triangle of BCP. I'm using triangle of fire as the same perspective as triangle of BCP. So the three quadrants are technology, facility, and people. So if any one of them is disrupted, BCP cannot happen or resiliency cannot happen. So technology is your stable, adequate, secure connectivity, right? In that, cyber also comes into play. It everything expands onto that, right? Because you don't want flapping, you want the right bandwidth to connect and use it. That's the reason I said stable, adequate, secure connectivity, right?
Right.
That's technology. Facility infrastructure is uh, safe, secure facility with the right power light and is accessible at any time, basically, whenever you need it, right? So
Right.
I use that first one. I used the example was the cyber part of it. The second one on the facility side of it, I'm using Ukraine as an example, right?
Mhm.
It is not safe, it is not secure, it is it's a different world altogether. I can again talk about Ukraine at length, kind of stuff, but those are the two things. And on the people side of it, you need the skilled people, you need the trained people, you need accessible, having the right access and are available, right? So that is the people. Mostly, I would fall it under floods, for example, because in that perspective, they don't have they are not available sometimes because of their family being affected and all this stuff. So I'm
Yes.
using that learning from that perspective as a solution. So I just wanted to expand that. So over to you. I probably utilized a little bit more than the stipulated time, but back to you, Daman.
Thanks a lot, Sanjay. And once again, this triangle in different names, especially PPT, people process technology, is very important. Personally, I keep saying people at the top. Almost everyone would agree to that. All organizations would agree to that. But my request repeatedly to organizations is, do we really mean it? So
Right.
having, again, if we called all three people process technology, we can add a little more into these facilities, etc. The competency. So I'm not saying competency of the people only, I'm talking of competency of the organization for risk and resilience, appropriately sourced or resourced. That's very important.
As I can say, I've gone through the Middle East wars or situation. I've seen London getting affected. I've seen US
Right.
going through a different. So people may be available but not connected
Right.
is also a deterrent kind of stuff, right? So
Right.
that's the reason all three are important. And are they feeling safe? Because if a tornado is hitting US, for example, he's not feeling secure for that
Yes.
matter. So if we can go into the various scenario building and then utilize it. COVID, for example, was a particular
Right.
perfect example kind of stuff
Yes.
on that.
Yes. Great.
So back to you, Daman.
Thank you very much. And this year, 2025, it seems is the year of floods and fires, two opposites. I'm not sure. Maybe someone will bring that perspective out also. Thank you very much. Next, who would like to put in
Okay.
his or her comments?
So, Professor Daman, probably I would like to take the opportunity to go
Thank you
ahead.
very much. Thanks,
Okay.
Mihir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
first of all, good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure be on this panel with you people. Thank you, Professor Daman, for inviting me, and congratulations on your this incredible milestone, 100
Thank you very
episodes
much.
of my 100 tips. You shared the entire list of your top tips, and going through it, I could get the feeling that it's 100 weeks of ideas, conversations, practical wisdom, or topics on various topics, ranging from operational resilience to innovation, cybersecurity, sustainability, and even you have covered the lighter but no less important personal resilience, which I think Sanjiv also touched upon a little bit, which is very important. What I feel stands out in this journey is the sheer diversity of perspectives, as can also be seen from us fellow audience over here, from resilience testing to Earth Hour, from microgreens to the fun portion of BCM. It's a reminder that resilience is not just a business buzzword, as we just briefly discussed. It's a way of thinking, living, and leading. In my perspective, there are three aspects to resilience. The first is the digital resilience. Speaking from going forward, digital resilience. Now we have seen artificial intelligence, becoming like a baseline scale. It's a necessity. So there's automation, cybersecurity threats. So this means in resilience, we have to be prepared for that which we do not know. So it's about building trust in the systems, and it's not just about redundancy. As Sanjeev also briefly touched upon the human aspect. So we need leaders, who are able to handle, teams, prevent them from being burnt out. As Sanjay said, I mean, there is a tornado, but we are not connected, but are we feeling safe? So yes, the managers, the leaders also need to be able to handle that. It's not just about technical skills. Emotional intelligence, adaptability, ability to reset quickly will matter as much as technical expertise. And third, sustainable resilience, building upon the things, climate risks, even as we speak currently, we know, cloud bursts are happening in various parts of North India. So there now, it's become a frequent occurrence now. We have seen 2, 3 incidents. Mumbai is also, heavy monsoon. The city has come to a shutdown. So climate risks, resource scarcity, stakeholder expectations means that resilience is not just about short-term recovery, but a long-term responsibility. Going by your tagline, resilient people, resilient planet, it's not a slogan, it's a necessity.
I agreed.
So if I had to, capture resilience in one phrase for the future, is that resilience is not something which, helps us to survive. It's what helps us to stay relevant. Thank you. This is my bit perspective on resilience.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I noticed Mahesh also has joined from UAE. So just quickly, because of time, I have not taken your names. I have not introduced you all. So that's with apologies, but I'll write that separately. No worries about that. Chris has joined from Australia. Mahesh, as I said, from the UAE. The rest of all of us are from different parts of India. I've got some recorded messages from people, experts from the other part of the world towards the US and Canada, which we'll play later. Who would like to be the next speaker?
I'll be happy to take it if
Okay, please go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, Mahesh, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I joined a bit late because of some technical glitches in the Zoom link. Unfortunately, I'm not way again. Today I'm speaking from UK. Because
right,
of
okay.
Like I would like to quote on what you mentioned, Daman, especially on the flood, which is severely hit India this year. I'm from Kerala, it's an. I'm sure that all of us Indians at least know that it's a severely hit state, especially with landslides,
Right.
flood, and other potential disasters. I'm a person. I've studied masters in disaster management from a central university, which I believe very few have gone through that kind of an education in India on this platform. And then I moved to business continuity later in my career. Which I would say very not a calculated step, which is a very I would say it's something which is God given to me. What I would say about disaster preparedness, I would like to criticize the government in a way, because I've seen outside how governments are supporting the local infrastructure, especially the educated people coming into the real picture of disaster management. I've seen all my batchmates, all my juniors, my seniors, almost for 3, 4 batches are outside the country. Like most of them are in US, UK, Middle East, Australia. Some of them are in Japan, like going to the PhD, but our government is not utilizing this critical infrastructure resources who are studied, who are like real-time soldiers who know the knowledge, who know the subject, and they studied on it almost for 2 years. Scarcity of people who have the knowledge is something very evident in managing disasters. If you are looking at from a government perspective, yes, we have the army system, we have the national disaster management cell and local disaster management cells, but how much they're utilizing this kind of resources is a question mark that the government need to think about it. Second, about I would like to quote about Kerala disaster, and especially on that area, because my wife is something who works on that area, and I know very closely about it. She had a PhD on this seismology and disaster management. So again, when the disaster strikes, we started running around and start doing the rescue. I'm purely speaking from an operational perspective. Where was the preparedness stage? Where when we have a peacetime, where were we guys are? Like, there was no investment, there was no preparedness, there was no mock drills, there was no training for the people. I can see in Kerala last, after the 2022 Wayanad landslide, which goes around 100 people's fatality, the government started doing some kind of actions, like they started doing some kind of mock test trainings. Being a person, I was into the site after the disaster. I've seen still camps and the chapels of small babies outside were buried inside the soil. But that is a very emotional scene. When we saw that, like, we really feel the need of disaster preparedness. Yes, Kerala somehow, I can say, Orissa is an ideal place. I can see a lot of my friends were temporarily joined in the state disaster management cell. And Maharashtra also, there are a few. I mean, and West Bengal nowadays have become they're investing too much on this one. So I would urge if colleagues across the nation and outside the nation, that investing in disaster management is not waste of time. It's not a waste of money. It's something which will get back to, as it's a return on investment. You will have maybe in billions or in millions, but in lives, I'm sure. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mahesh. And well, individually, we all would be doing within our organizations, but the need of the hour is, it always was, but as we just mentioned, that perhaps globally this appears to be the year of floods and fires, two opposites, but still happening. We don't know what is coming up next, etc., etc. Collectively, I would like to say we all should be able to take this next step in risk and resilience. It's very important to call the spade a spade, a spade, or belling the cat. Who is that person? We need to take that next step to then raise awareness, share experiences, and if possible, even go up to governments for improvements. Thank you very much, Mahesh, once again. Who would like to be the next? Please.
Yeah, let me start. This
Thanks,
is Seshadri from India, Bangalore. Okay, so I would like to build on what Daman said just now. To me, it looks like the adaptability in a crisis. Today, the world, the world is one close knit unit. It is not India separately. It is not US separately. What the US head says, creates ripples in other parts of the world. It is not only the communication, it is the action and the disasters also, right? So one of the most important things in resilience is adaptability. How do you adapt to the changing situation? Because no disaster comes to you with a written code of conduct. This is how I would behave. It all comes sporadically, right? Nothing is fixed. So we have to be able to absorb the shock respond to the shocks appropriately, and ensure number one, people safety, number two, your process recovery, number three, your property recovery. Okay. So these three things, there is no question of putting this on top of the other or the other on top of this. All three are important. But are we able to salvage everything to the best of my ability? Maybe yes, maybe not. In most situations of disaster, perhaps you may have to compromise with what is available, what can be done. We may be planning 100%, we may be able to achieve only 40%, right? This is how situations develop over the world. So to reach a level of that resilience is the most important thing. And that doesn't happen overnight. Like Daman celebrating the 100th episode of Top Tips over perhaps a little less than 2 years. This may take 20 years. We may talk of resilience. We may talk of so many things. But are we in a position to be resilient? Is the biggest question. And this to me is a continuous journey. There is no full stop. There is not even a comma. It is always a continuous journey. And unless BCM, so many people keep saying we are business continuity professionals, resilience practitioners. Do we really practice? Is the biggest question.
Right.
And to what extent we can withstand that practice.
Exactly.
There will be multiple shocks. We should be the first shock absorbers as the ambassadors of resilience, and then only we can ensure that the culture of resilience spreads out into the world. Thank you, Daman.
Thank you
and
very
congratulations
much.
on your 100th episode.
Thanks a lot, Seshadri. It's not either or. It's and. There is no full stop, not even a comma. It's
Yes.
not expense, it's investment. There are huge ROIs, etc., etc. Thanks a lot once again. Who would like to be the next person? Yes, Chris, go ahead, please. Chris from
Thanks,
Australia.
Daman. And thank you for including me in your hundreds and joining this august panel and the other colleagues that will join us in recordings. Now, I was quite taken by Mahesh's comments about emergency management because, like him, I come from an emergency management background and moved into business continuity more recently, approaching 20 years ago. So all of this preparedness is very important in that space. And also adaptability, your point, Seshadri, about, you have to be prepared. And that was also mentioned earlier about the importance of preparedness, but monitoring the scene, trying to get ahead of the curve, trying to understand what might damage your business, what might be the next vulnerabilities. But at the same time, writing your business continuity plans in terms of resources and time-critical business processes rather than scenario-driven so that you've got that flexibility to deal with whatever. But in Australia, we know only too well about floods and fires. Sometimes we have the same thing going on at the same time at different parts of the continent. I used to do a presentation called Australia, Land of Disasters. And I stopped doing it. It's too depressing because it's just too much to talk about. But at the same time, we need to be positive. We need to encourage people to be prepared. And one of my colleagues put it very well. A very senior person said to me once, a business continuity is like a crevasse. If you don't have a plan, you've got a huge crevasse, like in the ice, to jump over. If you do have a plan and it's exercised, you bring the edges together so that when something unpleasant happens, you've only got a small number of things to decide because you've already practiced, you've already got the bugs out of the system so that when there is an incident, you're prepared and you can just deal with whatever today's particular challenges are that you may not have anticipated. And I'm spending a lot of time now in enterprise risk management, trying to get senior leaders to think strategically about what could be the harms to their business, what could challenge their resiliency. Thank you, Daman.
Thank you very much, Chris. And once again, to all of you, that you all have spared time for me. Thanks from the core of my heart. We continue for a little more time. Who would like to be the next speaker? Your perspective of or on a resilience. Anand, go ahead, please.
Hi, Daman. Good morning, everyone. Good evening to people not on the IST. Having worked with Daman very closely in the recent, I have to say that I'm very, very, very impressed. He's my role model for energy. He's my role model for, ensuring things are always on time. And I think that's one very big prerequisite for building resilience.
Like that.
Yeah, I come from a risk management background where you have the opportunity to think about risks before they happen. But with resiliency, it's an entirely different story. So I just want to take a couple of minutes, not talking about resiliency or risk as a professional, but more as my own personal experience as a founder, right, of a startup. I had an excellent, job. I decided to leave that startup as a founder. Worked on building a product for risk management, despite I think what I consider myself as a very good risk manager, the slew of challenges that came my path, right, as a founder, I think the only thing that could have protected me was resiliency. No more was risk management useful. So I have to put that out there. The game that you play, obviously, it's a game because you're not the only player. You've got competition. You've got, constraints to work with. You've got some goals. You've got some, some resources that you have to work with, and eventually you want to be successful. So the journey is longer, deeper for people who plan to get onto the product side. Much longer and much deeper than what you would have imagined or planned for. So that's where resilience comes in, and resilience comes in all shapes, sizes, and forms. So there's personal resilience. You can't afford to fall sick. You can't afford to not be there for your teams. You can't afford to not be there for your customers. And while that is also true for consulting, but when you have a team that you're driving, who's offering whatever they are for your customers, you can't miss. And the toll is possibly on your personal health, the toll is on your family side, and therefore resilience extends to your families, it extends to your own ability to handle your personal health. So that's one big dimension. The second big dimension is business resilience. And when I say this, I don't just mean about whether my laptops are working fine and I'm able to get my customers' requirements met. It's also about challenges that happen because team member is unwell, not able to deliver. You got to step in. There's a deadline, and these are statutory deadlines. You got to meet them. So you got to pull in all the SOPs. You've got to dig into all the networks that you have to make sure that you get things done, even if you're not fully staffed, and stuff like that, right? So the business resilience goes beyond just thinking about acquiring a customer and delivering it, but also managing the crisis that comes along with that delivery. And the third one, which is financial resilience, as a startup, everyone knows this theoretically a 10% chance of success. Very recently, I'd reached out to my lawyer for preparing for our third round of funding. And I'd asked him, his name is Venkat. So I asked him, Venkat, what do you think I should, talk about with my investors who are going to be pitched now about where we are and why is it that we need more money? And what will investors look for in us at this stage, right? And I think he said, Anand, the simplest way to explain to you, or simplest way as I understood he explained to me, was that if you've been here long enough, right, you've been here for 6-7 years, you've managed to survive so long. And I think that's the first and the most important criteria that investors look for, right? That if you've hanged in there, you've been there long enough, then that's your first big tick in the box. And I think it's not just about having the money, it's about figuring out how that financial resilience extends. You've got customers who can help you. You've got your employees who actually wait for their salaries for a month or two, also in certain cases, just because they believe in your vision. And all of that is, very humbling. But it's also a very, very significant component of the financial resilience. So I just wanted to say these things. It's a very different world out there. So all my resilience training, despite having someone like Daman that I'm working alongside on a project right now, I think has also come in from my startup learning. So I've got the best of both the worlds. So thank you, and thank you, Daman, for having me here, and congratulations again on your 100th episode of Top Tips.
Thank you very much, Anand. Couple of very important points emerging, not from one expert, from multiple experts put together. The field of risk, resilience, disaster management, etc., may be at times, if not always, depressing also. For that reason, at the backdrop of COVID-19 pandemic, I ran a global study and developed a global report around emotional impact assessment. We should not forget about that. While I also admit that the work stopped there. Even I have not conducted a real emotional impact assessment for any organization yet. I know the term is existing in the world for years, but who has done how much? I'm not sure immediately, but we all need to progress to that next step. The journey is from risk to resilience. In between, perhaps steps like BCM, operational resilience, organizational resilience, etc. Business excellence in between. It's a long journey, never-ending journey, without full stops and without commas. It's a journey of transformation. Thanks once again, Anand. Moving on to present speakers. Puneet, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Daman. My name is Puneet. I'm the founder director of Ataware. We make the most sustainable edible cups on the planet. You drink the tea and eat the cup. What I could make out from the experiences that I have, resilience is more of a mindset, be it an organization or teams or maybe companies. They all are driven by humans. Most of people and most of us, when we say this word resilience, risk, management, they connect this word with crisis. They connect this word with most of us connect with this emergencies. But there are sudden times when there is a sudden business growth. There are times when there is unexpectedly there is a huge increase in profits. There might be a huge increase in demand, and that also requires your resiliency, your management. How do you tackle that risk as well? So it's not just emergency situations. So you can say emergencies can be of two types, positive and negative. That is where humans can be trained. It's a trait. It's a skill. It's a mindset. It's the type of people who do this. Not everyone understands. Not everyone is capable enough of recognizing the risk, understanding it, how to deal with it, how to convert a risk, and how to embrace that change, and how to convert it into a positive business. One of my colleagues was saying these floods, there is another positive side of it. Yes, there is human error, there are challenges with the government, everything. But the fertile soil these floods will bring to the plains, it will revamp the entire soil system that is available there. The amount of chemicals that we are eating through those crops, this fertile soil that will come through this flood will revamp the whole soil system, and the increase in the quality of food will increase into other factors, the health, environment, and all the other things. Yes, floods are not good. Yes, there is destruction, but this is another side of the story. This is where we need to prepare. This is where resilience is going. This is where risk is going. This is where analysis is going. How to convert emergencies even you take a disaster side of the story, or you take it as an opportunity for people, government, organizations to understand how to make use of it. Give you a simple example. Uttarakhand and Kashmir and Himachal, all three Himalayan, North Indian Himalayan states are struggling with these floods. How these floods are carrying these natural minerals, these herbs, this fertile soil, and they are flash floods. Where can we collect this water? Where can we collect this soil? Is there a mechanism? That's where resiliency stands. So it's a mindset. People can be trained. It's a trait. Some of us are born with it. Some of them are adaptive towards it. And probably we might be able to build a small team which sits globally with this mindset and propagate it further. This is what my perspective is about the resilience.
Thank you very much, Puneet. Resilience is a mindset. There is no question about it. We keep talking about it to build the culture of resilience. Also, the other side of the coin. We must look into that. And that's what resilience also says, that look for opportunity in that disaster or crisis or in the risk. Thank you very much. My apologies. We have gone 9 minutes over. I have messages from 3 experts. I would like to play those, but about 6-7 minutes maximum. With your permission. Thank you very much. And someone please let me know, what do you see? My screen, great. Thank you very much. I'll have to check with about audio video also. So this is Mark Carroll from US. Can you see Mark now?
I think it is coming up.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Greetings from Florida. My name is Mark Carroll, and I am a long-term business continuity practitioner and the founder of the Enterprise Risk Management graduate degree at Boston University. I first want to thank my friend Daman for including me in this session and congratulate Daman on his 100th episode of his top tips. The number is amazing and serves as a testament to his experience and dedication to our subject area, that being risk, recovery, continuity, disaster recovery, whichever you want to phrase it. Note that we need to also include a congratulations level to the resilience arena itself, which provides ample fodder and content for folks like Daman and others to take leadership roles in this discipline. Our resilience world continues to change and evolve, and people like Daman have been at the forefront of leadership in that change, in that activity. The last few years in particular have demonstrated a step function change as we transcend traditional business continuity and embrace the key broader elements of resilience. Standing up the business operation is clearly necessary, as it has been historically, but it's no longer sufficient through a risk lens. It's no longer sufficient as resilience has broader implications that include such areas as succession planning, liquidity, exchange rates, cyber risk, and a whole host of other business survival areas that don't fit our historical business continuity scope. In the same way that business continuity was a step function change from the world of disaster recovery, resilience is the next step function change, the next sea change. The new resilience paradigm will take us into fundamental risk and recovery areas that are not new to the business, but new to us as BC professionals, to the point of redefining the scope of our role. Leaders like Daman will navigate us through this new paradigm, this new quagmire, taking us out of our business continuity comfort zone into the broader and more far-reaching aspects of resilience. Get ready for the next 100 top tips, and thanks again to Daman for all that you do.
Thanks a lot, Mark. I will do my best to live to your expectations. Can you all see my screen once again? The slide, I mean to say. Am I back on my slide? Great.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Next message is from Alex from Canada.
Hi, Daman. A little birdie told me you were celebrating your 100th podcast. Congratulations. I know just how tough that can be. So good for you for being able to meet that milestone. Congratulations, and let's look forward to the next 100.
I will, Alex. Thank you very much once again. And the next one, I'm sorry, is Ratna from Canada.
Hi, Daman, and everybody out there who's attending the top tips by Daman Dev.
So audio clear? Once again, a check. Great. Sorry about that. What's this?
Hi, Daman, and everybody out there who's attending the top tips by Daman Dev Sood. Honestly, Daman, 99 successful episodes and reaching the 100th is no mean feat. So congratulations and best wishes for the 200th. I'll wait to be invited for that as well. So I'm sorry I can't really attend in person because it's going to be 2 a.m. in Toronto in Canada at that time. But here's a recorded message because I really did want to participate in your success. And we'll move on from here to what I think about resilience. And it's very interesting because as a resilience professional for a while now, and almost 2 decades when I say a while, it's been an interesting journey. You know, there was a time when we did scenario exercises, we did risk assessments, one incident, one risk at a time, whether it was geopolitics, data breach, cyber attack, natural hazard hitting us. But I think COVID changed all of that for us as risk professionals. We didn't even see COVID coming. And I say COVID once again in all of this through, it's been 5 years now that we have seen COVID. But since then, it's almost like for us risk professionals, the whole world as we know it changed, and it was not just COVID, right? The geopolitics around the world is in a crazy shape. The natural hazards are only getting worse. It's like the data breaches, cyber attacks are reaching new realms of complications, which means as risk professionals, the only thing that we can do, we can't stay ahead of this risk. We can never anticipate what's coming our way. The only thing we can do is prepare. Personally, get more resilient. Professionally, at work, prepare, and do as much multiple complex scenario exercises as we can do. Because if somebody was to ask me, what is it that I'm anticipating for the future? I really don't know, except to say that I know it's going to be more complex. I don't know what is going to come our way. I will not be able to, bet my dollars on the fact that I know that this is exactly what's going to happen in the next 2 years or 5 years, right? What we do know is that we can only prepare for the real worst case scenario and pray for better times. Pray that we do not have to really practice or really, kind of live through the worst case scenario that we are preparing for. So I think it's challenging times. I think the good part in all of this is that as risk professionals, we have our jobs and we have complex scenarios to deal with. So it's very interesting times now and ahead. Never a dull moment. Boring is not a word we have heard in our profession for a very, very long time, and it's going to stay that way. So yeah, I think I'm going to end with that, Daman. Once again, congratulations, best wishes. Sorry I'm not there. And as a risk professional, I'm really excited for the times ahead. Worried as well a little bit, but excited for the times ahead. So thank you, and see you next time. Good day.
Thank you very much, Ratna, and exciting times ahead. My thanks to all of you once again. But while closing, Now I'll go one by one as I see on the screen. Final words, a sentence from you. Seshadri, you're on mute, Seshadri.
To me, adaptability is the most important criteria of being resilient. Because unless we adapt ourselves to the environment, to the developing scenario, we are not going to be safe. And not being safe is not being resilient.
Thank you very much. Chris.
Yes, congratulations again, Daman. It's quite an achievement. And the whole enterprise risk space, as Ratna was rightly pointing out, we just don't know where it's taking us. And of course, now we're getting these poly crises and perma crises, which is continuing to raise the bar and require us to be even stronger in our resiliency space than perhaps we've been in the past. Thank you again and congratulations.
Thanks, Chris. Sanjiv.
Yeah, my closing sentence will be resilience is the differentiator in this VUCA world. So the world is changing, it is very dynamic, it is ever happening, and it is very, very important.
Thank you very much. Mihir.
Well, I would like to sum up from everyone is that resilience, it's a culture, it's a mindset, it's a way of living.
Thank you very much. Puneet.
Really appreciate Daman. When you say resilience, you stood tall, stern, and managed to cross 100 episodes. It's itself leading by example. My last words, or about the comment that I would like to add on is embrace the change and be resilient. Change
Very
is
good.
inevitable. Cannot avoid changes. So they will happen. You have to be adaptive. You have to be more resilient.
Very good. Great. Thank you very much. Anand.
Yes, so closing thoughts again from the startup world. So most of you know Sam Altman, right, from the founder of OpenAI. So he has very recently mentioned to the world that in the scenario of uncertainty, how do you get prepared for the future? Of course, he meant it from the point of view of jobs, but it also means everything else, including what Ratna said. So he says that the only important skill that you need to learn today to survive in the future is to be able to learn quickly, right? So you should be able to learn something new that comes up your way in a month, 2 months, and then you can start get going. You never know what the future is going to be, and therefore the best thing that you can do is build the ability to learn very quickly. So I just want to leave that thought, Daman. And congrats again on your 100th.
Thanks, Anand. Sanjay.
I would just, after hearing so many of thoughts and stuff, I totally agree with Sampath. We need to be prepared for the future. Two things I would like to add there is that no crisis is similar. So
Right.
be prepared, right? Be ready for situation as they evolve.
Right.
We've done enough exercises in pandemic, but we never anticipated COVID, right? So just building onto that. And then be outcome driven, very clearly. Outcome matters, and it is very important that you deliver what is asked from you. So be outcome driven.
Great. Thank you very much. I hope I have covered everyone. If not, please, I'll wait for a few seconds. Mahesh, I'm not sure whether still is on. He had said he had to leave.
Yeah, I'm here. So
All right. Great.
I'll say like this. We heard this proverb like eat an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So similarly, have the resilience with you, keeps the disaster minimize, and live long. And all the best for you, Daman, and congratulations for this century. Please make the double century, triple century. We are there for you.
Thank you very much. Once again, to all of you from the core of my heart, thanks for sparing time for me. I believe all these discussions, while we kept intention was 30 minutes, going to about 45 minutes, but has become a very good collection of thoughts for people. This recording will be available freely on my YouTube channel, whoever wants to watch, whenever, from wherever. Thanks once again. I am committed to resilience. I live resilience day, night, etc., etc. I say it's a passion for me, and I'll keep doing my bit. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Daman.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you, Daman sir.
Heartiest congratulations on the game.
Thank you.
Thank you
I'll
all.
wait
See
for
you all.
everyone
Bye
to
all.
leave.
Take
As a
care.
host,
Bye.
I will be the last one to log out. Bye-bye, Seshadri, Sanjiv.
Bye.
Logging off.